Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to some Northernlion, and Dan plays some more For Honor Without Honor. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? You guys wanted to see it, so we're back.
We're back, but we're both in different form.
Like because we've been sick, you mean?
We've hung out and then I don't want to open it up saying, "Hey, we're sick," but there's something to say about how many people do you think were at PAX? 80,000?
Probably like 80,000, you said?
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe 50, but I mean, we're talking, it's a lot of people either way.
Okay, so 50,000 people. We take the demographics of a gamer, which who knows what that is, but you jam everyone in a winter mist evening. How would you describe it? It was cold, right?
Blizzard half the time. It was like minus 1 million degrees and like blistering snow.
And then you mix up a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you got sick, huh?
Yes.
How did
But
that?
don't just leave me outed. Like, you got sick as well, right?
I did, but I think the funny. Oh, I just got roasted. I think the funny thing is neither of us get sick often.
Yeah, I tend to not get sick. By the way, I don't think Dan's trying. Oh fuck! They know it's us.
Well, I'm dead, so.
Yeah, I don't think Dan's trying to roast like our primary demographic here, but you know, I've seen the bathrooms at PAX, so it's not necessarily the cleanest environment on the planet, sadly.
You want to know, like, I guess the misnomer, the outlier, the whole thing is, all right, so you got dirty bathrooms. You may have less than cleanly individuals. I'm just saying. Sometimes. But at PAX, I bet there were 0 fights that broke out.
Almost certainly 100% true.
Yeah.
Although occasionally I do see people that get a little aggro in the lines, or like when they're walking, somebody just stops in front of them and they're like, they hold their arms out like, really? Oh! Disciple of Keck has left the session, Dan.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I don't know, but I think we're gonna win now.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say you internally are one of those guys.
Yes.
You're
I
not
used to be more, actually. Like, as my NLSS persona gets more and more angry, my like real life persona gets less and less angry. Now I'm more like, you know, everybody's here, they pay good money, they're trying to have a fun show, and like, you know, so it's easy to get overwhelmed on the show floor as well. Like, there's a lot of stuff there.
This doesn't sound like the Ryan I know. The Ryan I know about 2 years ago would talk about someone's GAC-sized backpack walking around knocking people off left and right.
Well, I do think that, like...
Nice.
Yeah, this guy's actually good. Or maybe I just think he's good because we haven't played in a while, but... I do hate when people bring, like, military backpacks to PAX, and then they do the thing where they hold the straps, and then they, like, shake side to side when they walk, and, like, clear a path in front of them. It's like, it's actually like a Hollow Knight enemy or something. But, you know, I understand. Everyone's there to have a good time, so I try not to be such a dick about it anymore.
Yeah, in your old age, you're becoming, like, softer but also harder.
That's what you know, I like to think that I'm becoming harder, yes.
So speaking of PAX, we haven't really had a rap session since
no, we haven't.
Since PAX. But what was your individual highlight from PAX?
Socially, the karaoke that we did was really fun. I had a good time there, and I liked playing King of Tokyo as well. That was a good time.
Why did you single out King? Because we played a handful of board games. Why did you single out
because the other... Wait, Codenames was really good too. Sorry, Codenames was probably more fun actually in that environment. But you know, I just enjoyed playing board games. I'm not trying to single out anything. Although I'll single out Evolution as not being that fun for like a party-ish environment.
Did I? I don't think I played that.
Yeah, I don't think you were there for that.
I think you like King of Tokyo because you min-maxed the crap out of your last monster.
I did. I put them in a chokehold at the end for an hour and ruined all the fun of that game. It was beautiful.
You did turn like a 30-minute game into about 3 hours.
It became like an hour-and-a-half game. I'm very sorry about this, Wakuzo, but it is in the name of the series that we have no honor, so...
You want to know the best part of what just happened? There was no resistance. There's no resistance from you at all.
And then just to get the ultimate BM at the end. I'm sorry, it had to be done. Oh, he told me to get the fudge out.
So, how do I talk to him? Tab?
U-tab? Y-tab? T-tab. T-tab. How about you? What was your favorite part of PAX East 2017?
I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the first time I'd been karaoke in that type of environment, meaning like your own room. And we need to back out of Akuzo. And
yeah,
that was cool because like I looked at that group and it's like you could draw a line down the center and be like, look, these people are actually really good singers.
Mm.
And then these people are actually having a lot of fun. And both people had fun.
Yeah. Well, like Surix and Austin are really good singers. And Rob and Kate, like they know how to sing.
Yeah.
And then like you and me and Mouth. We're just like enthusiastic, but that's all you need sometimes.
I feel like if that karaoke was a business, like Kate and Surix and Rob and Austin brought like talent, but we brought sweat equity.
Sweat equity. I like that. Yeah. See, I mean, you got to have some people making the executive decisions, and then you need idiots like us that work hard but not smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Do the grunt labor. So what do you think about guest L6Z0ADSV?
What do you think he's trying to get at with that?
I think he might be trying to pretend to be somebody's younger brother.
But do you think
like
the
games
hidden
used to
message?
be like if you press like start, you'd be the guest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he's trying to get at here, but he's got a level 3 prestige lawbringer, so I don't know. He also said well then in chat, so maybe he knows what he's getting himself into.
Is his name Lego ISP? I'm trying to just make sense of it.
I'm fighting the Yogg. It's a pretty deal. Oh God!
I'm just trying to catch him off guard here.
I understand. Okay.
How good is that guy?
I mean, I don't really know to answer your question, because the fight just kind of started and it was already like a little... I think I started on the back foot is what I'm trying to say here.
The back foot?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, because like you know, when you came in and got a free attack on your guy, my guy came in and got about 8 free attacks on me.
You gotta be part of Death Row.
Like Ja Rule.
Ja Rule, yeah. Speaking of,
yeah, okay.
I'm telling those guys. Did I ever tell you I saw Ja Rule in the airport once?
Really?
In Phoenix. I walked by, like he had like a couple guys around him, and it took me probably a good 2 minutes. I'm like, who's that guy? And it's Ja Rule, because you know Ja Rule since that Ashanti song that I sent you.
Always on time.
Yeah, which was in reference to when you're supposed to be recording. But what has he done since then?
I mean, there's a really great photo of Ja Rule and Nelly at like a Skype, or not Skype, a Sprite website launch party in like the year 2000. Is glorious. Oh, he's measalooing me. But I think he tried to, didn't he try to like mount some sort of comeback? You know, the Ja Rule story is like, he wanted too much money to be in the, I fell into like a 6-inch gap and my body turned into a freaking Tim Burton wet dream. He was in Too Fast, Too Furious, and then he wanted too much money to reprise his role, so they just replaced him with Ludacris. And Ludacris has now made like $800 million off of those movies. The dude he's been guilty of making some not amazing business decisions in his life, I think.
Yeah, that may be one that you regret later in life. You know, there's all sorts of royalties, action figures, plastic cars from
those movies make like so much money worldwide now that you know, I don't fault him necessarily. Like when Too Fast, Too Furious came out, probably wasn't quite the business juggernaut that it is now, but still, like, you know, it hurts.
What do you think the appeal of those movies are?
You got fast cars and even faster women.
Have you ever watched one?
I watched Tokyo Drift like a month ago.
Were you like stranded somewhere and had no option?
Well, yeah. Usually the way that it works is like I've got some homework to do. Let me turn on the TV, and then you know, Tokyo Drift was on the television.
Is that really how it went down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it the edited version?
What I thought was fun. Well, yeah, obviously, but it was still the one where little Bow Wow goes, "Yeah, man, Japanese food's like the army. Don't fight, or wait, don't ask, don't tell."
What?
We got our asses kicked there, by the way.
That was in the trailer of the movie.
I believe that.
I remember seeing that on TV back in the day. But speaking of, can we go back to your incident of just jumping into a 2v1? Like, at what point internally was there no logic gate?
There's no logic gate anymore. Although I do think I came up with it in the shower the other day. I was like, I got a better strategy for us, Dan.
Okay.
When we're fighting people we don't know, don't go for the 2v1 right away. See, this is where like the Machiavellian gears start to turn. Don't go for the 2v1 right away, because maybe we'll win round 1. And they'll think we're still honorable. And then we still have that dishonor trump card. You know, if it's 2v2 or like 2 rounds to 2 rounds at the very end, then you jump in with the scum tactic and take them by surprise, you know? Better to drive the dagger in their heart when you know it's going to kill them as opposed to just make them angry.
Excuse me, what have I created? That's actually brilliant and dastardly.
I know, yeah.
50% of that was normally used to describe you. The other 50% is not often used to describe you in that way. But
well, you can't beat them, join them, you know?
That's right.
If we're part of the evil empire here, you're Darth Vader, and I'm just like, I'm a stormtrooper that's like, I'm not going to shoot anybody in the back. You know, if the Rebel Alliance captures us, they're still going to hang me. So might as well go all in here.
Did you know this guy has flames coming out of his back?
Yeah, that's one of those $732 microtransactions.
Oh, that's nice.
Or you could just play for 2 years and then you unlock it. Wow, this guy actually kicked my ass.
You're dead?
Yeah, I'm amazingly dead.
Miso.
Measly. Did you play anything at the actual show?
I did. I went in, you know, for that early hour.
Yeah.
And
it's a good idea.
I like just played everything then because I'm not a big line guy.
I mean nobody is, I think. But
well, I don't know. Some people like gear up into those like 2-hour lines and they're just like sitting there having a jolly old
like
time.
A 3DS and yeah. I mean, you gotta have something to do in those lines. Like, there's no way to get around them. I mean, unless you're media, and then you just.
Did you wait in line to play anything?
Yeah, I mean, we waited in line to play everything that we played, to be honest with you. So we just picked stuff that was like, in the mega booth, lines can only form like 2 rounds deep before it starts being a fire hazard. So we queued up for stuff like that instead of waiting for like, you know. I mean, how do you think everybody who waited like 3 hours to play Mass Effect Andromeda feels this week? Probably not too good, right?
Have you tried it yet?
No, not yet. Have you tried it yet?
I tried it last night.
Yeah.
I mean, but I didn't want to be one of those people. Like, honestly, I got a little distraught. And I don't get distraught when people are like, oh, the animation, the facial on this is just so terrible. And it's like, is that the world we live in?
See, I'm glad you brought this up. Because I think to some extent, I guess I can't even spectate you. My head got chopped off so hard I can't even spectate. But I think that what I was thinking about before the game came out and the review scores were not very good was like, this game might actually be okay, but be guilty of just being very like virally bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of I rail against that in like on the NLSS all the time because I feel like, you know, the third of the Star Wars prequels is not that bad, but when it's bad, it's like very shareable. Like when Darth Vader goes like, no! Everyone is like forward, re. So people that haven't seen the movie are like, I can't like this movie, obviously. Like, look at how stupid that one specific moment is.
Oh, get him off. Get him off.
I truly believed. But then the reviews came out and they're like, the writing's really bad. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a different story.
Oh, he's done it! We got a shot here. We got a shot. You won the first one?
No, we lost the first. Well, I beat my dude. But,
yeah.
But then, yeah, reviews came out, and I was like, maybe it's just not as good as the first 3. Which I haven't played the third one yet, but.
Yeah, I mean, I just was like, give these people a shot, you know? So I didn't want to, like, have any opinion until you play it, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I gave it a good couple hours last night, and it just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me.
Well, I am sorry to hear that, because Mass Effect 2 is like, oh, kick the Christ out. Mass Effect 2 is amazing.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the only one I played and beat. It was really good. That just the controls in this are a little wonky, and like the facial animation isn't like a big deal at all. You know.
I also feel like to some extent, like obviously if you're on the media side, it's a really easy thing to mine for clicks right now.
Yeah.
Like not to accuse my colleagues of doing that exact same thing, but it's really easy to just be like, check out this wonky animation, you know, and then like 100,000 clicks. Or if you're like, oh, actually the game's not that bad, and here's a 20-minute video explaining why, you're like, you know, that's gonna get like 2 views. But I think you reap what you sow. Like, it's good to be critical, don't get me wrong, but I think when you take pot shots and you take like the easy way out and punch down all the time, you build an audience that expects that. And then if the gaze ever turns to you, oh boy, you're in trouble. You've cultivated an audience that does not like to be positive. And I have to clarify that I don't think if something's bad, you should just be like, well, it's actually good because I want everything to be happy. But I think by focusing on the positive when it's warranted, you can build a healthier audience.
That's an interesting perspective, but where you kind of caught me for loop is you said, what do you mean like when it turns back on you? Also, how do we 1v1 each other? I wanted to end.
Oh, okay. You should just go to duel instead of brawl when you start the mode, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it happen with other YouTubers across a wide variety of industries, not just games. You know, they build their brand on being kind of angry, for lack of a better word. And then, you know, if they ever get involved in controversy themselves, it just gets worse, I think, because of the fact that they've built a following that is predisposed to, you know, enjoy that kind of stuff. So it fans the flames. This is Dominion, Dan.
It's, we'll have to go custom match here because it wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
But so for you, is that like, is it just based on your personality or is that a conscious decision?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I've become a softer critic as I've learned more about development, because it doesn't feel honest to take pot shots if you know what goes into making a game. Then when you see like a bad animation, you go, hey, it's like a bad animation, but you know, people worked on that for like 5 years. And it feels worse to me. You know, it's like your little brother is like running a race, and somebody who's never known him is like, look at how slow that idiot is. And you're like, yeah, but he's trying really hard. I get that it's a product that's being sold for money, and that's why I'm not making videos that are like, you should definitely buy this. But that is why I abstain a lot of times from making the easy joke of like, hey, whoa, where did these guys learn how to do animation? The toilet school?
So, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm in the same camp as you, but I just saw, like, the piling on from, like, this animation. I'm like, the animation isn't that bad. You know, it's not like the eyeballs are popping out. What game had that?
That was Syndicate, the Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, where it's like, it's fine, but I just felt like it was very, like, almost gaming snobbish. You know what I mean? It's like, we deserve the best lifelike stuff in the world. And it's like, okay, maybe you do.
I mean, there is some dogpiling. I mean, part of it is that games are in like a really good spot, despite the fact that there are people who feel like the sky is falling like all the time. Like, the standards in games have gone up so much in the past, well, over the past forever, that, I mean, there are still genuinely people who are like, man, I wish we could go back to like Defender. I'm not insulting Defender, right? But I mean, for all the problems that For Honor has, I think if you gave it to somebody in like 1986, they would be like, this is amazing. This is the best product in any industry ever invented. So like things like wonky animation stand out like a lot more now. And that's good, because I think it's, you know, it's good that we had the luxury of being critical. But I do feel like, you know, there was some dogpiling.
If you had
I mean, it's fine, because I mean, they had to know when they released it that some of this stuff was coming. Not that that justifies it.
But let's say if you were to take one game, okay, and
yeah,
and then
one
take
opportunity,
one shot,
Yeah.
and you were to take it to say 1989, okay?
Yeah.
With the current hardware we have now, and you just say, hey, I'm going to show you 5 minutes of this, and then you get 5 minutes to play it, and you're just looking for like the craziest reaction of all time, what game would you send back in that time capsule?
That's a good question. I think it's a little slightly dated now, but I almost feel like something like Titanfall would just blow your doors wide off. Because at first you'd be like, okay, what is this? Well, it's a first-person shooter. What's a first-person shooter? Well, you know Doom? No, Doom, I've never heard of this Doom thing. What's Doom? You know, it would be such a buy-in. It would be like giving an iPod to somebody in the Middle Ages. You know, you're trying to explain what, you know, it's an electronic, and then they're like, I don't understand what that means. So I don't know. Titanfall makes sense to me though, because it's very modern. You know, it's 3D. It looks good. It's got different styles of gameplay where you can get inside a mech or you can run around. Plus, just the concept of like being able to put yourself in someone else's eyes would probably be amazing to somebody back then.
So to take it one step further, what about if you were to give it to your what then 6-year-old self?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think you would appreciate that? Or, oh, this is okay. It's
no,
not my genre.
I think it would be extremely easy to appreciate. I think like when games come out matters a lot. Like when people are like, Knights of the Old Republic is like the best game ever. If you came out with it now, it probably wouldn't be as widely regarded. I'm being careful to make my point here because it's a game that I like, but you know, the context matters. Like if an indie developer came out with Doom for the first time ever right now, people would be like, what's this? It's kind of, you know, trash. Not to be rude, but you know, it's not modern at the very least.
You think so? You think Doom would be crapped on today?
I think it would just be ignored. But because, you know, it's got a reputation as, you know, one of those games that's extremely... I'm not saying that reputation is undeserved, by the way. I'm just saying that, like, it's the same with movies. Like, you know, if you watch, like, you know, Metropolis now, that 1927 movie about, like, a man making a robot, you're probably not going to be like, this is, you know, incredible. But because of the context, that makes it incredible.
I'm pretty surprised that you've seen that.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I'm just a snob, so I'm aware of its existence.
Because, you know, I've seen that movie.
You've seen Metropolis?
Yeah, I took a...
That surprises me.
Why? I've seen a handful of film study classes. I have a library of rated movies.
Do you own Metropolis?
I don't, because it's not really that good. But
that's what I figured.
But I have a library.
Did you ever watch Frequency? Or not? Sorry, not Frequency. Wavelength. It's like a 45-minute experimental film that is just a one-camera shot of someone's room, and then like there's nobody home, but then like 30 minutes in the phone rings. That's the movie. It's a film studies classic.
I'm gonna send you a link on Twitter of this French movie we watched. It's black and white, and there's this scene where they zoom in on this guy's eye, and you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you know what I'm
talking.
Yeah. How do you know the title?
Like it's referenced in Debaser Side 1 Track 1 off the Pixies' 1986 classic album Doolittle.
What? But you know what I was gonna say? You know the old like
cuts
school
it with the razor blade.
Yeah, the old school razor blade. Like that's some powerful stuff even for back then. And Misalou, what was the name of the movie?
In Shenandoah.
But I gotta give you my list of top 10 film study movies you must watch. I bet you've seen a lot of them.
Quit the main menu.
Have you seen Cool Hand Luke?
No. Oh. I know he eats a lot of eggs in that movie, and that offends me.
I didn't even think of that, but that's nice that you know that reference. And that you know that he actually attempted to do that in the movie?
Like Paul Newman attempted to do it.
Yeah, I think he got like 23 deep or something.
It's disgusting. But I mean, method acting.
Yeah. What about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Have you seen that?
Haven't seen it. Christopher Lloyd, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito.
You have no desire to see that?
I don't really watch movies except on airplanes, to be honest. And if they happen to be on TV when I have to do some homework.
What'd you watch on the way to PAX?
I watched Mike Birbiglia's new comedy special, and I was pretty good. and I watched
Who
Office
is
Christmas
that?
Party.
Who's Mike Birbiglia? What even is that? Someone from
He's an Italian
Kingston?
comedian. He does a lot of comedy about being Italian, like, hey, I'm Mike Birbiglia, something something pizza spaghetti. He doesn't actually do that.
Is it clean or is it like filth?
It's mostly clean, but it's not like, Brian Regan like wears it as a badge of honor or something.
Got it. So you watch Brian Birbiglia.
Brian Birbiglia, his new comedy special. I thought that was pretty good. I watched Office Christmas Party, and I thought it was terrible.
Who's in that? Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, that's Jamie Foxx, Gerard Butler. No, it's like Jason Bateman from Arrested Development and T.J. Miller from Silicon Valley and Kate McKinnon from SNL, Jennifer Aniston.
So 4 of the most unfunny people ever created.
Wait, you don't like Arrested Development?
No, I don't. I get that confused with the one with Sofia Vergara.
That's Modern Family.
It's the same show.
I could understand that, except like Arrested Development's really good.
Is it
Modern Family was good for a long time, but sort of fell into the Isaac trap of like, well, the show's making money, so we gotta keep pumping out episodes.
So you watched it. I feel like there's a third movie that you had.
Yes, but I can't remember what it was.
Doctor Strange?
No, I saw that in theaters. So I watched Hunt for the Wilder People. You know what, Dan? Just to end the episode, you're not going to have respect for my movie watching choices.
I mean, these are 3 movies that if you were to poll 10 people off the street, not one of them could identify either of those 3.
Office Christmas Party? It came out like 3 months ago. It was relatively popular.
I guess it's all relative. And speaking of relative, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, click the like button. Upside a great deal. If you want to see the person's perspective, go to the link in the description below. Ryan, it's good to be back. And
man.
We didn't even scum it up yet.
A little bit, but next time, more.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Later.